Hey YouTube, this is Dan, and I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm going to do a review on some gun lubricants here. And as you guys know, lubrication is a very important part to proper maintenance of your firearms, specifically if you're a conceal and carry holder and conceal and carry user. When you're carrying a gun, you typically get a lot of dirt, grime, dust that gets built up into your firearm, and a lot of the oil-based lubricants do a good job of making that stuff stick to your particular firearm. So that's why I started using the Sentry Solutions Smooth Kote. Now the Sentry Solutions Smooth Kote is a dry lubricant. So it's basically like a graphite type substance that puts a dry shield on the moving parts of your firearm so you don't get any friction directly on the metal parts. Now, Sentry Solutions is a great company. They make a myriad of products for both land and maritime uses. These guys are just a really great and solid company, very good product. You know, when you're using your weapon, you want to make sure that it's ready and willing at all times for you, and this is definitely going to make sure that it's performing admirably for you. Now what I'm going to do is pull out my everyday carry weapon, which is, as you guys know, my Ruger SR9C. Oops. And what I like to do when I'm cleaning my guns, especially when I'm using stuff like this that can be a little bit messy, I actually like to put them on dog potty pads. Now the reason I use this is because these guys don't leak through, and some of these chemicals can be a little bit toxic, so this gives you the ability to dispose of that stuff and not have it linger around in your home or not having to worry about putting it in your washing machine. So let's go ahead and get started on the application of using this. Now this is the typical bottle that you can find. This is like a 0.5 ounce bottle here, but this little bottle will last a very, very long time because you're only going to put a small application on what you're going to use. So the first thing that you have to do is shake this up very well. And also I want to make as a side note too that this is also a bore treatment as well. So you can actually put a small amount of this on inside the barrel of your gun actually, and this will reduce friction and is claimed to increase feet per second and accuracy in your weapons. Now I haven't tried it for that, but all accounts that it actually does do that and does a very fine job of doing so. So what you want to do is actually put on this applicator tip here, and this will dispense a very fine amount of the lubrication onto your weapon. And basically you just want to apply it to any surface that's going to create metal on metal contact. And it's a little bit easier to apply this on a blued or a black and framed pistol because you can actually see it go on in a nice silver coat, and then it takes about 2 minutes to dry, takes 2 hours to fully cure, but once it's fully cured you have very good protection here. So I'm just going to apply a little amount here, and it is really just a little fine amount. And you can see it just coming on as a little black thread in the barrel. I don't know if you guys can see that. Actually, let me go ahead and pull out a flashlight here. So yeah, you're just applying a very little bead on the metal on metal contact parts. Apply that on both sides. And that's it. Now, one thing that you want to make sure is that your gun has been thoroughly cleaned and degreased before you do that. So any grease or anything like that is going to prevent good adherence to for this little powder. It actually goes on with an alcohol base, so it is flammable when you first apply it, but the alcohol evaporates and then you're fine. So after you do that and then touch up on all your metal on metal contact parts, just give it a nice little thin coat. And you can actually apply this to a little cotton swab or a little piece of paper, and you're fine. And remember with this, less is always more. You don't want to over apply it. I'm over applying a little bit here just so you guys can see what I'm doing, but a very, very thin coat is all you need. As I mentioned, just coat all the surfaces that are actually going to contact metal on metal, and that's it. Just a few seconds and you have a thoroughly lubricated weapon. And also what you want to do is get inside your the sear for your trigger as well. This will give you a nice smooth, butter smooth trigger pull on your gun. And as I mentioned, less is more. Just a little dab will do you. And that's it. Reassemble your weapon, and I'm going to do a little quick little field here. Once it's dried, manipulate your action, make sure everything is good, and there you have it. Your gun is thoroughly lubed, and this is a very good lubrication too. As I mentioned, this is not going to attract any dust or dirt that's going to be in your pocket or inside your in the waistband holster or just your duty holster. So this is really going to help you out, going to relieve a lot of maintenance for you. And also when it comes to discharging your weapon, it really does a great job of preventing that particulate matter from sticking to your weapon also. So you could actually take just a little can of compressed air, spray it on, and a lot of that dust and gunpowder is going to go bye-bye. So I just want to wrap this up right quick. If you guys have a chance to go out and buy this, and it's very economical too. This little bottle here will run you about $8 at any gun shop. And as I mentioned, this is going to last a very long time. And this should lubricate literally, you should be able to do literally hundreds if not thousands of applications with just this little bottle here. So I highly recommend you guys pick this up. And thank you guys for watching again. Good night.